The identity of a business is often encapsulated in a single word or a simple design that carries the weight of the organization's entire reputation and history. We are exploring the essential professional strategies used to reduce trademark risk by carefully selecting and then actively policing your unique brand identifiers in a crowded global marketplace. Typically, a brand's strength is measured not just by its popularity among customers, but by the legal rigor used to establish and defend its boundaries against unauthorized use. In practice, a cybersecurity and compliance professional must understand how these identifiers are managed to protect the organization's goodwill and market position. What this means is that we are moving beyond the protection of data to the protection of the very symbols that represent the organization's promise to its public. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to our course companion books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyber.author.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. A trademark is formally defined as a specific word, symbol, or design that serves to identify the source of a product or service and distinguish it from those of other entities. This legal protection ensures that consumers can rely on a brand name as a guarantee of quality and origin, preventing confusion in the commercial landscape. You'll often see that trademarks can range from famous slogans to the distinctive shape of a product's packaging, provided they are unique enough to identify a single source. Typically, the value of a trademark grows over time as the organization invests in its products, making it one of the most significant intangible assets on the balance sheet. Understanding the role of these identifiers allows you to see how the organization's public face is grounded in a complex framework of intellectual property rights. A very helpful way to integrate these concepts into your daily workflow is the professional practice of conducting a quick and thorough search to see if a proposed new product name is already being used by another company. This preliminary search involves looking through industry databases and national registries to identify any existing marks that might conflict with the organization's creative plans. In practice, finding a conflict early saves an immense amount of time and money that would otherwise be wasted on designing materials for a name you cannot legally own. Typically, a seasoned professional treats the clearance of a new name with the same level of caution as a technical security audit. What this means is that you are using research and due diligence to prevent a costly legal collision before the organization commits its resources to a new brand. A major and frequently occurring pitfall in corporate strategy is the decision to invest heavily in a brand name or a marketing campaign before confirming that the identifier is actually legally available for use. If an organization begins printing packaging and launching digital ads for a name owned by someone else, it can be forced to stop immediately and potentially pay significant damages for infringement. In practice, this oversight often leads to a frantic and expensive attempt to buy out the existing owner or a total loss of the marketing investment. Typically, the cost of a proper trademark search is a fraction of the cost of a failed launch or a protracted legal battle in federal court. This realization highlights why the administrative step of verifying availability is a non-negotiable part of a mature and professional product development lifecycle. An immediate and impactful achievement for your intellectual property program is the formal registration of your primary company logo and name with the National Trademark and Patent Office. While some rights can be established through mere use in commerce, a formal registration provides a much stronger set of legal tools and a public record of your ownership. Typically, a registered mark carries a presumption of validity, meaning it is much easier and less expensive to defend your brand in a courtroom or a domain name dispute. In practice, this registration allows the organization to use the R in a circle symbol, providing a clear warning to competitors that the mark is professionally protected. What this means is that you are using a standardized government process to bolster the organizational value and the legal defensibility of your brand. It is helpful to visualize a strong and professional brand that is instantly recognizable to the public and is legally protected from copycats and imitators within your specific industry. In such an environment, customers can feel a sense of total confidence when they see your logo, knowing that it represents the authentic products and services of your organization. Typically, This level of brand security is achieved through a combination of high-quality internal output and a vigilant legal defense that prevents others from diluting the brand's unique identity. In practice, a secure trademark ensures that no competitor can unfairly benefit from the hard work and the reputation that your team has built over many years. This visualization helps us see that trademarks are the primary mechanism for maintaining trust and clarity in the modern digital economy. In the field of trademark law, we use the specific term likelihood of confusion to describe the legal standard used by judges and regulators to determine if one trademark is infringing upon another. This standard looks at whether an ordinary consumer would be likely to believe that the products or services of two different companies actually come from the same source. Typically, the court considers factors such as the similarity of the marks, the relatedness of the goods, and the strength of the original brand's reputation. In practice, you do not need an exact match for infringement to occur. A mark that is confusingly similar in sound, appearance, or meaning can be enough to trigger a legal challenge. What this means is that we must aim for a high degree of distinctiveness when selecting new brand identifiers to ensure they remain safe from legal claims. Reviewing your organization's trademarks on a regular and disciplined basis helps the team identify when other parties are trying to benefit from your established brand equity without your permission. This might include a competitor using a similar font in their ads or a malicious actor registering a domain name that mimics your primary brand to trick your customers. In practice, the law expects a trademark owner to act as the primary police officer for their own rights, meaning you must be aware of how your brand is being used in the wild. Typically, failing to respond to unauthorized use can lead to a weakening of the mark, making it harder to defend against more serious infringements in the future. This level of technical and market oversight ensures that the organization's identity remains a pure and uncontested asset for the business. One can easily imagine the profound and devastating cost of a full company rebrand because the organization lost a trademark dispute to a much smaller competitor who happened to use the name first. A rebrand involves more than just changing a logo. It requires updating every technical system, every legal contract, every social media handle, and every physical sign across the entire enterprise. Typically, the confusion caused among customers and partners during such a transition can lead to a significant loss of revenue and market share that may take years to recover. In practice, these disasters are almost always preventable through the use of rigorous clearance searches and early legal consultations during the brand selection process. This scenario serves as a powerful reminder that the legal integrity of your brand is a foundational requirement for the organization's long-term financial stability. Every professional strategy for brand protection should be anchored in the critical need for consistent and active policing to prevent your trademark from eventually becoming a generic term. If a brand name is used so frequently by the public to describe an entire category of products that it loses its source identifying power, the organization can lose its exclusive trademark rights entirely. Typically, this process is known as genericide, and it has impacted famous names that once had total market protection but are now free for anyone to use. In practice, this means the organization must be careful in how it uses its own trademarks in marketing and must correct others who use the mark incorrectly. What this means is that you are protecting the legal life of your brand by ensuring it always remains a distinctive and specific identifier of your organization's work. We have now discussed the entire professional life cycle of a trademark, from the initial selection and registration to the long-term monitoring and legal enforcement required to maintain its value. By building a robust system for brand protection, the organization is taking a significant step toward achieving a more mature and defensible intellectual property posture. Typically, the most effective programs are those that integrate these requirements directly into the product launch and marketing workflows of the company. In practice, this ensures that every new identifier is vetted, protected, and policed as a routine part of business operations rather than as a reactive response to a crisis. This integrated approach to trademark management is what ensures the organization remains a trusted and unique leader in its field, protected by the full weight of the law. A highly effective technique for professional brand policing is the use of a specialized watch service to receive immediate alerts whenever someone else tries to register a trademark that is similar to yours. These services scan trademark office filings globally and provide a heads-up to the legal team so they can file an opposition before the new mark is officially granted. In practice, this proactive approach allows the organization to stop potential infringers at the very beginning of their journey, often without the need for an expensive and lengthy lawsuit. Typically, these alerts also include monitoring for domain names and social media usernames that might infringe on your established brand identity. What this means is that you are using an automated early warning system to provide a high-level guarantee of your organization's ongoing commitment to brand integrity. Reducing trademark risk through careful selection and active enforcement ensures that your brand remains a unique, valuable, and legally protected asset that customers can always recognize and trust. When the organization's identity is secure, the business can focus on innovation and growth without the constant distraction of brand confusion or copycat competitors. Typically, a mature program uses these standardized workflows to ensure that every asset, from a small sub-brand to the primary corporate logo, is accounted for and legally sound. In practice, the energy you spend on perfecting your trademark and brand management protocols today is a direct investment in the long-term legal and financial health of the entire enterprise. This focus on identity is what ensures that your governance program remains a verified and trusted reality in the global digital economy. This session on reducing trademark risk from selection through ongoing policing is now complete, and you have gained a solid understanding of how to build and defend a strong organizational identity. We have discussed the definition of trademarks, the role of likelihood of confusion, the importance of clearance searches and registration, and the value of active policing and watch services. A warm and very practical next step for your own professional growth is to take a moment today and find the R in a circle symbol on a logo in your office or home. As you look at it, consider the complex legal and administrative journey that the organization took to earn that symbol and how it serves as a shield for their reputation and their market position. Moving forward with this observant and disciplined mindset will help you ensure that your organization's brand is always safe and fully defensible.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit DailyCyber.News.